So I just pulled some Huang out of the ground, or Scutellaria, also called Scullcap, the Baical Scullcap. Here's a little picture of its flowers here. It has these pretty purple flowers. Anyway, this is one of the most widely used herbs in Chinese medicine. Huang, it's one of the 3 yellows. And in Chinese herbal medicine, we use the roots. You can see here some of the roots that I pulled out. Some of them are a little bigger than others. This is probably the biggest one here. You can see the yellow color pretty clearly, and just even tasting a little bit, it's quite bitter. So this herb is well known because it is bitter, it's cold, it clears damp heat is one of the main things it's used for all over the body. So damp heat in the stomach, digestive issues, damp heat in the upper jiao and the lower jiao. And it, because it's bitter and cold, it's descending. It also cools the blood, stops bleeding. It goes to the blood layer of the body. It's a pretty powerful herb. It's a middle grade herb, so kind of the middle one, not too toxic, not too safe either. It's in the middle for like mild conditions. And so in the Materia Medica commentary that Chen Shoyan wrote, keep looking at this little picture here, he says that the qi and the flavor are bitter and cold and non-toxic. Huang qin governs all heat, jaundice, intestinal afflux, and diarrhea. It expels water, precipitates blood block, malign sores, flat abscesses, and fire ulcers. So Chen Shoyan's commentary, he says that Huang Qin, Huang Lian, Huang Bai, those are the 3 yellows, that they all have cold qi, bitter flavor, yellow color, and their indications are generally the same. Generally speaking, medicinals with a cold qi are all able to eliminate heat, and medicinals with a bitter flavor are all able to dry damp, and those with a yellow color all belong to the earth. So the medicinals that are brightly yellow then belong to metal, and metal depends on the color of the earth in order to have its own color. Of the 5 metals, gold is the most precious. However, only Huang Qin is hollow inside, resembling the intestines and stomach. The large intestine is Han Yang Ming, and the stomach is Foot Yang Ming. Huang Qin governs all heat, and this indicates all heat diseases of the intestines and the stomach. So I didn't know that. So let me go grab a knife and we'll cut it open and see if it actually is hollow inside. So I just grabbed a knife, move that out of that sun here, and I cut open one of these. It doesn't look to be hollow inside to me. It looks pretty solid. I mean, it could be also that these are pretty young. This is only the 2nd year that I've had this, and so this is a 2nd year root growth, so it's possible that as it gets a little bigger, then it is hollow, but you can sort of see that it does have this yellow color in there. One other thing, I mean, personally in my practice I use Huang Qin a lot in my external medicines because it is bitter and cold and does tend to go to the level of the blood, that it is really good for moving blood, cooling blood, stopping bleeding with trauma. And so I'll often buy it in a powder to mix with other herbs to where you want cooling. So I made one where you mixed it with Peng Sha and Da Huang for a cooling thing on the skin, as well as for like a Dita Jiao type trauma formula that you soak it in alcohol, that Huang Qin is also essential in a lot of those types of formulas to treat acute traumas, bruises, bleeding, that type of thing. So this is what it looks like, and so that's the above ground part with these pretty purple flowers that make it pretty recognizable. And what's interesting is that the leaves themselves, I was curious what the leaves tasted like, and the leaves have sort of the characteristic bitter taste of Huang Qin, but they're also quite sweet with almost a stevia type sweetness. So it has this combination of sweet at the kind of the wrong part of your mouth like stevia is, but also has a bitter aftertaste as well. And so this is Huang Qin.